Or did. Today on 14th October, your name has just been called in heaven. If you read this before midnight, a life-changing answer will arrive. This is not coincidence. Heaven moved your name today, October 14th. This date has not arrived like the rest. This is a marked day, a sacred day, a day when the eternal clock struck your moment. There are days when heaven watches, and there are days when heaven moves. And beloved, today, October 14th, the heavens did not remain silent. A council convened, a scroll unrolled, and in the chambers where destiny is decided, your name was spoken aloud. Many names were observed, but not all were called. Many hearts were examined, but only a few carried the vibration of readiness. You were among the few. You were among the seen. You were among the called. This message finds you not by accident, not by algorithm, not by luck, but by divine appointment. It was whispered into time, encoded into your spirit, and now delivered to your awareness. Heaven has been tracking your tears, watching your growth, measuring your endurance. And now, the voice of the Spirit has spoken. Call their name. Awaken their awareness. Let them know your moment is near. There has been a subtle shift in the realm of the unseen, one that happened the very moment your spirit sighed in longing. A divine notice went forth. You didn't realize it, but even your silence was a signal, a cry only heaven could interpret. And heaven answered, "This word is not for the masses. This word is for you, the one whose heart has been in holy tension, the one who has felt the burning sense that something was nearing but had no words to describe it, the one who almost let go, but didn't, the one who questioned the silence, yet kept believing, the one who looked up, even with trembling faith, and whispered, 'God, do you still see me?' And the answer, echoing through the heavens, was yes. This is a divine summons. But hear this clearly. It is time-sensitive. There is a window in the Spirit, and it closes at midnight. Not because God will abandon you, but because this message is tied to an alignment that is in motion right now. It is moving, shifting, turning toward your life, and your response in this moment matters. Stillness is your strategy. Faith is your key. Silence is your sanctuary. Heaven is not asking you to strive. It is asking you to recognize. Recognize that you have been summoned. Recognize that heaven has called your name. Recognize that before the clock strikes midnight, the unseen will manifest. Type "I receive this divine calling" in the comments if this message finds you today. Blessing code 1444 has now been released over your name. Be still for a moment. Let the weight of this truth settle on your spirit like dew on early morning grass. Heaven is calling your name today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. This exact date, October 14th, your name was written on a heavenly scroll, sealed in light, and carried through the realms by a messenger cloaked in divine brilliance. I, Archangel Michael, come not with empty words, but with a summons from the throne, a message etched with fire, urgency, and revelation. Listen closely now. There is a sound that interrupts the noise of earth, and that sound is your name being spoken in the halls of eternity. Not the name others gave you, not the one they call in sarcasm or forgetfulness. I speak of the name heaven knows, the name connected to purpose, wrapped in promise, charged with light. As I descended through dimensions, I carried a scroll in my hand, one that glowed with heaven's ink. And your name, child of destiny, was inscribed at the top. This is not for the curious. This is not for the skeptical. This is not for the ones scrolling in doubt. This word is for the awakened soul who has sensed the trembling in the air, the shift in the spirit, the whisper behind your dreams. Something holy is unfolding, and in the next few hours, a divine alignment will finalize. There are moments in eternity where heaven pauses, and when heaven pauses, it is to release power. Right now, as the world spins unaware, angels are gathering, watchers are assembling, and a spiritual window is opening that will not wait past midnight. Your faith has activated this moment. Your endurance has drawn divine attention. And now the Spirit says, pause everything. Heaven is calling your attention. Do not mistake the pressure you felt today for anxiety. It was not confusion. That tightness in your chest, the unusual alertness, the subtle disquiet, these were not from the natural realm. These were trumpets. Heaven was sounding an alarm, a divine countdown tied to your next breakthrough. You see, heaven does not shout to those it trusts, it whispers. And if your spirit was restless today, it was because your soul was hearing the summoning sound from above. You felt it, didn't you? That quiet pull, that invisible magnet drawing your focus inward. That wasn't just emotion, it was a spiritual beacon. And now, a choice stands before you: to ignore this call and fall back into the rhythm of the ordinary, or to acknowledge the whisper and step into the rhythm of the eternal. Let it be known, angels are standing by. Heaven's response is now waiting your recognition. Not everyone will understand this frequency. Not everyone will feel the shift. But you do, because you are chosen. You are being remembered in this hour, not because you earned it, but because the time has come. This is not a delay. This is not another test. This is a divine announcement. Heaven is revisiting the promises made to you. The prayers you forgot, the cries you buried, the tears you swallowed, all of them were recorded. And now, the books are being opened. Your name has been highlighted. The waiting has not been in vain. You were not forgotten. You were being prepared. And now, the Spirit says, this message found you because heaven scheduled it. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you feel your name was called today. Blessing code 777 is now encircling your destiny. There has been a stirring within you that words could never quite capture. A restlessness that wakes you in the night. A sudden wave of emotion without reason. You have tried to quiet it, to reason with it, to name it, but deep inside, something sacred has been trembling. That trembling was not weakness. It was recognition. Your spirit has been responding to a movement in heaven. The unease you have felt, the unexplainable tension in your heart, the pressure behind your prayers, these are signs that the unseen has begun to take notice of you. Do not mistake this disruption as disorder. It is not confusion. It is awakening. You have felt misunderstood lately, haven't you? People close to you sense a change, yet they cannot explain it. They notice the silence, the distance, the inward focus. They sense that something in you is shifting, but they do not have the language for it. It is because your spirit has stepped into a higher frequency, and the world around you is not yet caught up. There are watchers, unseen eyes observing your rise. Whisperers who sense that your name had been stirred in the divine record. They speak your name, but heaven speaks it differently. When heaven says your name, it shakes the spiritual atmosphere. It draws light around you. It marks you for movement. The very vibration of your name has changed, and that is why old things no longer fit, why old conversations feel heavy, and why even familiar spaces now feel foreign. You have asked yourself, why do I feel like something big is about to happen? That question has echoed in your spirit like thunder rolling over distant mountains. You have felt it while working, while driving, while standing in silence, an anticipation that refuses to fade. This feeling is not madness, it is movement. It is the sound of destiny rearranging itself. When heaven calls a name, the earth must respond. And your world, everything connected to you, is starting to respond to that call. Confusion, emotional exhaustion, unexpected tension. These are signs of transition. When the spirit realm begins to shift, the natural realm trembles. Those around you may misread it. They may call it mood, distance, or detachment. But heaven calls it activation. You are being spiritually awakened, not emotionally broken. The discomfort you feel is heaven stretching your soul to hold the blessing that is approaching. Even those you love may not discern this hour. They may question your silence, your solitude, or your sudden hunger for peace. But do not be disturbed. Heaven often hides its greatest works beneath moments of stillness. When God is building the bridge to your breakthrough, He often cloaks it in silence. There is purpose behind your isolation. There is strategy behind the shaking. Every unanswered question, every misunderstood moment is shaping your discernment. You are being trained to recognize divine language, the language of movement, timing, and obedience. You sense that something is coming, but you can't name it yet. That uncertainty is sacred. It means heaven is still writing it. The unseen is aligning. Angels are finalizing arrangements. The pages of your story are being edited by the hand of light. You don't need to see the entire script. You only need to stay open until the final word is spoken tonight. And before this night passes, you will know that what you felt was real. You will know that heaven truly spoke your name. You will know that this message did not come to entertain. It came to awaken. Type "I am ready for divine alignment" in the comments if this word resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 818 is now hovering over your timeline. When heaven calls a name, it does not just awaken the person. It awakens a mission. This message you are hearing is more than words. It is a trumpet for souls still waiting to recognize their call. Every seed sown into this mission becomes a light that reaches another searching heart. I speak not of charity, but of divine partnership, of joining hands with heaven's assignment to awaken others before their midnight. As you stand under this anointing, remember, the same river that refreshes you now will flow through your giving. Heaven multiplies what is sown into its purpose. I, Archangel Michael, declare, those who pour into the light will never walk in lack. This is not about helping a channel. It is about fueling the call of God. The harvest belongs to every hand that helps the word travel farther. If this word ignites your spirit, I invite you, move prophetically. Activate your seed of faith today through Super Thanks, channel membership, or through PayPal. The link is in the video description. Heaven sees every giver. Heaven records every act of faith. And I decree now, those who sow into this light shall receive light in return. Your giving becomes an altar of remembrance before the throne. Move now, as led by the Spirit. Your seed will speak where your words cannot. Now hear this, and hear it with the weight it deserves. You are not under attack because of your past, but because of your prophecy. The pressure you are feeling, the chaos that surrounds you, the moments where it feels like everything is being stripped away, these are not signs of defeat. These are signals of divine warfare. The heavens are not punishing you. They are preparing you. What you're walking through right now isn't random. It's a battleground between what has been and what must now come forth. The resistance you face is confirmation. Every obstacle you've encountered lately, every delay, every door that seemed to shut in your face. They are not the absence of God, but the evidence that your name has been marked by destiny's oil. You don't wrestle because you are weak. You wrestle because you are becoming. And hell always fights what heaven is about to crown. Do not let your eyes deceive you in this hour. What looks like rejection is protection. What feels like abandonment is alignment. What appears to be silence is the sound of heaven watching your response. Because, child of light, heaven watches not only your battles, heaven watches your reactions. How do you respond when the doors stay closed? How do you stand when the whispers of doubt come in like a flood? This season has not been about testing your strength, it's been about testing your readiness. I say this now as a holy reminder. Heaven never promotes the untested. Every season of agitation, every night of weeping, every misunderstood gesture, every false accusation, it has all been part of your refining. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. There are spiritual forces, ancient and unseen, who understand that the moment your spirit fully aligns with God's will, everything around you must shift. That's why the attacks intensified. That's why the betrayal was sudden. That's why the warfare became unexplainable. Because something in you broke through. You have been called, and that call disrupts every lie that tried to define you. The enemy does not waste energy attacking those going nowhere. But when your name is called in the heavenlies, the old assignments rise up to resist your release. Do not fear them. Do not give them power. They have already lost. For your name was not just called, it was sealed. You are covered. You are guided. You are watched by fire. Your silence in this season has not gone unnoticed. Your tears have been counted. Not one has hit the ground without being documented in heaven's archive. Your pain has a purpose. Your struggle has a signature, and it belongs to God. And while others may misread your stillness as defeat, heaven sees it as surrendered strength. You have stayed in position. You have not cursed what you didn't understand. You have trusted even when your trust was bleeding. And for that, child of God, you are seen. This is not the end. This is the crossing. You are transitioning from pressure into purpose. The weight you feel is the spiritual weight of glory beginning to rest on your shoulders. There is a mantle being laid upon you. And every battle you faced hath been shaping you for the moment heaven manifests your name in power. So I speak this over you now. Do not be distracted by the warfare. Be anchored in the knowing. You are in a spiritual transformation. The flames you walk through are not meant to burn you, but to brand you. You are being marked, not by the scars of defeat, but by the oil of elevation. Type "I am guarded by heaven" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 929 is now covering your battlefield with divine reinforcement. Hear me now with the urgency of fire. The spiritual threshold is being approached, and your name has been etched into the unfolding of it. This is not merely a message. It is a prophetic timestamp written into the fabric of your atmosphere. From the very moment this word found you, the countdown began. And now, within the next 72 hours, a divine shift is scheduled to break through the veil and enter your visible realm. I speak not from emotion, but from revelation. There are movements occurring in the realm of the unseen that concern you directly. Meetings are being held in the spirit. Your name is on the agenda. Discussions are echoing through the corridors of divine authority. There are angels assigned to you who have been briefed. There are demonic forces panicking because your obedience has broken patterns. Something unseen is stirring, and the pressure you feel is the sign that it's getting close. What is approaching you is not here to destroy. It is here to expose and deliver. Expose what's been hiding, and deliver what's been delayed. The hand of God is reaching into your timeline to unravel what darkness tried to disguise as normal. There is a heavenly unraveling coming to reveal who you really are, and what heaven has hidden until now. You were never forgotten, you were preserved for such a time as this. And I must warn you, as light draws near, so does resistance. Distractions will rise. Old temptations will resurface. The phone will ring. The arguments will try to start. The doubts will grow louder. Not because you are failing, but because you are closer than you have ever been. The final test before the shift is always intensity. The enemy seeks to intercept not by force but by diversion. The heavens are heavy right now with divine intention. The kind of heaviness that signals something is about to be born. Just like the atmosphere before a storm. The winds slow, the air thickens, and the birds grow silent. Creation feels the change, and so does your spirit. That tension in your chest, that alertness in your soul, it is the drumbeat of destiny moving in your direction. But it cannot move without your awareness. It cannot manifest without your agreement. You must remain spiritually awake. You must refuse to numb out. This moment is not casual. This moment is critical. As you approach midnight, let your discernment rise. Watch what tries to steal your attention. Watch who tries to distract you. Be still. Be focused. For when the heavens align, they look for the soul who is aligned as well. And if you are the one, if you are the vessel heaven has called, then tonight becomes a hinge in your history. This is why the word found you. This is why your spirit couldn't rest. This is why your name was called today, October 14th, because the calendar in heaven showed this was the appointed time. A shift is not coming months from now. It is not reserved for another year. It has begun. And if you can remain locked in the spirit, surrendered in obedience, aligned in posture, then the answer will not delay any longer. And now I leave you with this pause, a pause full of power. Heaven waits to see if you'll still believe. If you'll believe beyond your feelings. If you'll believe despite your fatigue. If you'll believe through the fog, the silence, the warfare. Because belief, right now, is the gate through which the answer will arrive. Type "I still believe" in the comments if your faith is still standing. Lesson code 4444 is now activating divine exposure and deliverance over your life. Be still now. The wind is not blowing. The thunder has paused. The noise is ceasing, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is. In the quiet, the most divine movements are being made. Heaven fights when you don't. You've been wrestling. You've been speaking. You've been trying to push the breakthrough with your own hands. But now, the Spirit says, step back. Be still. Let the angels do what only heaven can accomplish. There is a holy silence that protects what's sacred. It is not apathy, nor avoidance. It is the silence that wraps around destiny when it is near. Like the hush before a royal procession, like the stillness before birth. This moment is charged with power, and that power will not be activated through volume. It will be released through surrender. Between now and midnight, the most powerful weapon you possess is not your voice. It is your posture. Stillness is not weakness. Silence is not surrender to the enemy. It is alignment with heaven. The one who kneels in quiet confidence commands the attention of angels. Right now, divine agents are stationed around you. Not metaphorically, not imaginatively, literally. There are messengers at your side, dispatched to carry out instructions based on your obedience. But they will not move to the sound of your frustration. They move to the sound of your faith. Speak little. Listen deeply. Turn your heart toward heaven. The Spirit is arranging moments in your future, shifting timelines, softening hearts, opening doors behind the veil. You may not see it, but the outcome is being rewritten as you wait in surrender. Every time you resist the urge to control, to panic, to explain, to overthink, you release heaven to move with speed. Right now, your obedience is the key. It isn't about doing more, it's about trusting more. You've done enough in the natural. Now the supernatural must take its place. Sit with God. Let your spirit lean into the whisper. Let your hands fall from the steering wheel. Let God be God. He is not late. He is not silent. He is not distant. He is operating with precision, and every detail of your destiny is under surveillance. Say this now over yourself. I am sealed by divine light. No darkness can intercept my name. Let that become your armor. Your peace is not passive, it is protective. Peace is a weapon that confuses the enemy. When you are at rest in the midst of confusion, it creates a shield around your mind, your heart, your timeline. Do not let anything today, no voice, no text, no crisis, pull you out of this place of covering. There is a sacredness hovering over you tonight. It is not fragile, but it is holy. It is not weak, but it must be respected. That means guarding your eyes, your ears, your spirit. Not everything deserves your attention right now. Not every conversation deserves a reply. Protect the oil. Guard the glory. Heaven has called your name, and the realm of darkness is watching to see if you recognize the weight of that calling. And so, as the clock edges closer to midnight, as the veil continues to thin, rest in divine protection. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not vulnerable. You are covered. You are shielded by light. The armies of the Lord surround you. No force in hell has the authority to intercept what heaven has ordained. Let your stillness become your sword. Let your trust become your thunder. Let your silence become the sanctuary where your answer is delivered. Type "I am covered in His light" in the comments if you are resting in divine stillness tonight. Blessing code 3131 is now securing your atmosphere in holy protection. Now rise. Yes, you heard me. Rise. Not in the natural first, but in your spirit. Rise from the identity of the one who has been overlooked. Rise from the weight of waiting. Rise from the confusion that has tried to name you. Rise because the veil is thinning, and what has been buried inside you is beginning to glow with heavenly fire. The season of hiding is ending. The chapter of enduring is transitioning. This is no longer survival. This is the hour of becoming. Heaven never calls a name to merely comfort it. It calls a name to transform it. And now, the Spirit of the living God whispers again, you are not who they think you are anymore. You are no longer the one barely making it, no longer the one afraid of the deep end, no longer the one who doubts their worth every night. No, you have been upgraded in the Spirit. There has been a royal exchange, survivor into vessel, sorrow into strength, obscurity into oil. Everything that delayed you was construction. Every season that held you back was a blueprint in disguise. The walls that confined you were not cages, they were chambers of preparation. While others judged your silence, heaven was fortifying your roots. While people misread your solitude, God was strengthening your spirit. Every detour was a divine detour. Every no was a not yet. And every delay was the scaffolding for your new identity. Now the fire begins to rise. You feel it, don't you? a deep certainty beneath your ribs that this moment means more than words can explain, that heaven has decided the old labels no longer apply, that your name, as it was spoken in heaven today, carries weight, fire, and a future. This is what the pressure was all about. This is what the warfare was hiding. The enemy was never afraid of your past. He was terrified of your reveal. Wings are unfolding now, invisible to man, but visible to God. They are the result of every broken night, every hidden prayer, every faithful moment when you had every reason to quit. You have not just been carried, you have been transformed. You walk differently now. You think differently now. You discern differently now. That is why the old places no longer satisfy. That is why the old cycles feel nauseating. You've outgrown what once fed you, and that is the proof you shifted. Do not fear this version of yourself. Do not fear this rising. This is not pride. This is purpose. You are not being arrogant when you walk with authority. You are being obedient. For what good is a name spoken in heaven if the vessel walks in fear? What good is a scroll carried by angels if the one called refuses to believe they are chosen? The days of shrinking are over. The days of second-guessing are being broken. This is not self-confidence. It is spirit confidence. You may not have applause. You may not have understanding. But you have anointing. And that anointing was not earned. It was entrusted. Heaven knows what it placed in you. And now, the realm of men will witness it unfold. Not by might, not by manipulation, but by the manifestation of your obedience. So declare this now. My name is known where power sits. My identity is not in people's memory. It is in heaven's registry. This is not your arrival. This is your reveal. And when heaven reveals a name, no voice can silence it again. Type I am who heaven says I am in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 5555 is now unfolding your true identity. Listen closely, for this is the moment where the veil begins to lift, and the reason behind the calling of your name is made clear. Heaven does not call without cause. Heaven does not move without mission. And I speak this now, not from speculation, but from divine revelation. Your name was called today because a withheld answer is now ready to be released. Not by delay, not by coincidence, but by divine readiness. The season of waiting has reached its tipping point, and now the release is approaching swiftly. For years, yes, even decades, the cry of your heart has risen like incense. Some of those cries you forgot. Some of those requests you buried beneath disappointment. But they were never lost. They were archived, filed, stamped with divine timing. And as of October 14th, heaven has reviewed your record and declared, this one is ready. You see, heaven doesn't forget, heaven watches. It watches how you waited. It watches how you carried unanswered prayers with integrity. It watches how you protected your hope when everything tried to suffocate it. And now, that watchfulness has turned to activation. The silence is breaking because the silence was never a no. It was a setup. It was the quiet that precedes promotion. There are doors about to open that were once sealed by divine hand, not because you weren't worthy, but because you weren't yet aligned. Alignment is not about perfection. It is about posture. And today, heaven has deemed your posture ready. The heavens have reached full circle, and the blueprint of your life is now unlocking what was once withheld. Expect reconciliations. Expect sudden opportunities. Expect answers to long-prayed questions. But also expect clarity. For this is not just a season of blessing, it is a season of revelation. You will see why certain delays were necessary. You will see how what broke you actually built you. You will see how the detour led you straight to destiny's gate. And understand this: the blessing you are about to walk into was never just about you. There have been intercessions made in your bloodline, silent prayers from ancestors whose voices are no longer heard on earth, but still echo in heaven. Their cries added volume to your name. Your obedience paved the way for this moment, and heaven has honored them through you. There have also been angels assigned to your bloodline, and they have followed your name across seasons. They have warred on your behalf in the unseen. They have guarded moments you thought would break you, and now they are standing again. This time, not for warfare, but for witnessing. Witnessing your reveal. Witnessing your rise. Witnessing the moment when what was written long ago finally enters your timeline. So I announce it boldly. This is your unlocking. This is your release. This is your next level. And nothing, no one, no force of darkness, no generational curse, no spiritual attack can override what God has already decreed. The decree has been signed, not in ink, not in blood, but in light. Yes, light has marked you. And from this moment on, you will notice the evidence. Things will shift around you. Conversations will align. Divine delays will give way to divine access. The fog will lift. The atmosphere will clear. Because the heaven that called your name is the same heaven that now declares, manifestation begins now. Type "I receive my divine release" in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 1010 is now active in your atmosphere. This word is more than prophecy. It is personal evidence that God is still speaking, still moving, still calling His chosen by name. If this moment stirred your spirit, if the light touched you, then understand, this message wasn't just for you to keep, but for you to multiply. Heaven is sounding the trumpet, and every time this word reaches another soul, chains break and vision returns. When you give into this mission, you are not just supporting a message, you are partnering with the release of light across the earth. Your giving becomes seed in heavenly soil, and the harvest is both personal and generational. As it is written, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," not just as money but as mercy, doors, answers, favor, and revelation. If the Lord stirs you, respond. You can support through Super Thanks, channel membership, or through PayPal. The link is in the description below. Every offering becomes oil on the message, fire in the reach, and a declaration to heaven. I stand with what God is doing here, and I declare now over every giver, your seed will not fall to the ground. It will speak. It will rise. It will multiply in miracles. This is the moment. This is the movement. Like prophetically, now comes the turning point, the divine intersection between revelation and responsibility. You have not just heard your name. You have not just felt the shift. You have not merely received a promise. You are standing at the door of activation. The atmosphere has been prepared. The scrolls have been opened. The word has gone forth. But heaven waits still for your yes. Not a yes of the mouth, but a yes of movement. A yes that proves alignment. A yes that signals faith. This is not about emotion anymore. This is not about chills down your spine or tears in your eyes. This is about whether you will match the vibration of the calling with the obedience of your actions. Because destiny is not handed, it is activated. The promises of God are yes and amen, but it is your surrender that unlocks the gate. Heaven has already moved. Angels have already descended. Now the final move rests with you. The Spirit of the Lord says, speak life over what felt dead. Your words are no longer empty echoes. They are weapons. They are keys. What you speak tonight will open what was closed. Your declarations are no longer just hopeful affirmations. They are spiritual technology aligned with the scroll written in heaven today. You must stop speaking according to what you see and start speaking according to what heaven has decreed. Say it, even if your reality contradicts it. Say it, even if your soul trembles. Say it, because your voice carries the weight of heaven tonight. Heaven is listening. The realm of the Spirit is on high alert, watching to see who will believe enough to act. If you declare it, move like it's true. If you believe it, structure your day around the truth of that belief. If you say breakthrough is coming, then organize your soul to receive it. Because every time your action aligns with your faith, a gate opens. You are not waiting on God. Heaven is waiting on your signal. Your yes becomes the trumpet. And understand this, to move is not always to go. Sometimes it is to let go. Sometimes the obedience heaven looks for is not in doing more, but in releasing what you were never meant to carry. There are relationships that must be surrendered. There are mindsets that must be silenced. There are routines that must die so resurrection can occur. There's no resurrection without surrender, and there is no activation without obedience. This is the night to lean in. This is the hour to open your mouth and call those things which are not as though they were. This is the moment to walk your room and claim your territory. To say, I am not what happened to me. I am who heaven called today. To stand in the hallway of uncertainty and speak as if the door is already opening. Because it is. Heaven does not wait forever, but it does wait for obedience. Midnight is coming, and with it, a divine response. But before the answer can arrive, there must be a sound. Let your life speak. Let your posture shout. Let your yes be loud in the Spirit. This is not about perfection. It's about agreement. Can you agree with what heaven already wrote about you? Can you agree with the calling, even when the cost makes you tremble? Can you step into destiny, even when doubt tries to whisper its way back into your bones? You are not small. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are being activated. Type ISAYYES to destiny in the comments if your soul agrees. Blessing code 2024 is now authorizing your next dimension. While your eyes rest, heaven does not. While you sleep, dream, or sit in sacred stillness, the realms of the Spirit remain alive, moving, shifting, ranging. There is a transaction unfolding that has no paperwork, no signatures of man, no announcement in the natural, yet it is more powerful than any earthly agreement. It is the silent exchange, the holy negotiation, the divine transfer that happens while the world remains unaware. And tonight, on this smart day, October 14th, your name is not just being called. Your case is being presented. Angels have brought forth evidence of your endurance. The Spirit has testified of your persistence. The throne has been made aware of every battle you withstood in silence. And now, in the depths of night, heaven is exchanging what you lost for what was always meant to be yours. You need to understand this. Not every blessing comes with thunder. Not every breakthrough arrives with sound. Some of the most powerful releases come quietly. Why? Because heaven honors intimacy. Because glory does not mean to be loud to be eternal. This is why you feel peace even though nothing has visibly changed. Because something has already shifted where it matters most, in the invisible. Even now, there are scrolls being exchanged on your behalf. Promises previously withheld are being reactivated. Assignments that were paused due to delay or interference are now being re-released. There are heavenly negotiations underway, where angels are trading the weight of your intercession for favor, the record of your pain for a new portion of glory. Yes, your prayers have weight. Your tears were not random. They became signatures. They mark documents in the heavenlies that demons could not erase. And now, those documents are being stamped with light. You may not remember the exact moment you whispered that request, but heaven never forgot it. You may not recall the night you sowed that sacrificial praise while in the middle of heartbreak, but your praise was currency. Your worship, even through disappointment, bought access. Your faith was not just survival. It was negotiation. It was your spirit agreeing with heaven even when your heart was breaking on earth. And now the unseen begins to unfold. You'll feel it first before you see it. A weight lifting. A fog clearing. The patterns breaking. Conversations beginning to realign. Emails or messages showing up without warning. Unusual favor finding its way to your life. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the evidence of what was transferred while you rested. Some of what is being returned to you was stolen. Yes, there were seasons when the enemy took what belonged to you: time, opportunity, energy, clarity. But tonight, heaven is reclaiming and repaying. And the repayment is not one for one. The repayment is multiplied. This is the principle of divine justice. Not only does God restore what was lost, but He increases what was stolen. What you receive will not be equal. It will be exceeding. And still, the beauty of this moment lies in its mystery. The quiet exchange. The unseen reversal. The secret reward for public endurance. This is why you've felt such a pull to stillness lately. This is why you've been spiritually sensitive, emotionally raw, even without clear reason. Your spirit already felt the shift before your eyes could see it. That's not imagination, that's confirmation. Your inner world always catches heaven's movement first. Now rest. Not because nothing is happening, but because everything is. You've done your part. Now let the angels finish theirs. Let heaven deliver what your heart has carried for years. The exchange is complete. Now walk in peace, for what is coming is no longer a question. It is a scheduled arrival. Type "I receive what heaven is releasing" in the comments if you feel the divine transaction. Blessing code 3003 has sealed your inheritance tonight. Justice is not always loud, but it is always precise. Heaven does not overlook what was done in secret. It does not ignore the betrayals, the silent attacks, the manipulation, the delays orchestrated behind closed doors. And now, as your name echoes through the courts of heaven, the scales are shifting, because justice has been scheduled. Divine justice is not the revenge of man. It is not the chaos of emotion. It is the perfect balance of heaven's memory. And beloved, heaven remembers. There are records that heaven keeps, not just of your obedience, but of how others responded to your calling. The whispers behind your back, the hands that tried to pull you down, the ones who plotted while smiling in your face. Yes, heaven heard the conversations you were never present for. And now, as the winds of divine reversal rise, those who misjudge your process are about to witness your promotion. Let this be said boldly: what they plan to block will become your platform. What they intended as delay, God is using as display. The same voices that tried to bury you will be forced to watch you bloom. The same systems that tried to suppress you will become the stage upon which your calling is confirmed. Because when heaven reverses a verdict, there is no force that can stop the divine unveiling. You have felt the weight of injustice, You've endured seasons where you were silent not because you were weak, but because you were wise. You didn't clap back. You didn't retaliate. You kept your hands clean while your heart bled. And because of that restraint, because of that holy discipline, God is now answering for you. This is why the answer didn't come when you wanted it. This is why the blessing was delayed. Because God wasn't just preparing a miracle, He was preparing a table. And now the table is being set in the presence of those who misunderstood you, those who weaponize your vulnerability, those who scattered your name like seedless gossip in rooms you were never invited into. Heaven has heard every lie, and now truth is becoming your vindicator. But justice is not just about vindication, it's about reversal. Shame is being turned into honor. Delay is being turned into acceleration. Tears are being turned into testimony. You are stepping into a divine reversal where what was sent to destroy you becomes what defines your destiny. It's already happening. The tide is turning. The evidence is shifting. A weight is lifting. You will no longer explain yourself to those who were never assigned to understand you. This reversal doesn't require an apology. It doesn't need a public announcement. Heaven will speak for you. Heaven will elevate you in a way that cannot be duplicated, imitated, or denied. You are not rising because of connections. You are rising because of covenant. And to those who still carry the sting of injustice in their chest, hear me. Your pain was not ignored. Your suffering was not wasted. God has been calculating every moment. The reversal has already been written. Now it begins to unfold. This is what happens when your name is called in the heavens. This is what takes place when obedience collides with divine memory. The judgment is in. The scales have tipped. The time has come. And this time, the outcome will not look like the last. This is heaven's verdict. Favor released. Tables turned. Justice served. Type the verdict is victory in the comments if this word belongs to you. Blessing code 8888 is now manifesting divine reversal in your life. Take a deep breath now, not in fear but in faith. For the journey your spirit has taken through this word has not been ordinary. It had been a divine procession, step by step, unveiling heaven's movement in real time. This was not a general message. This was a heavenly alert with your name sealed on it. Today, on this appointed day, October 14th, you have been called, tested, seen, and now elevated. Let it be declared with boldness. You are not the same. Something shifted. Something broke loose. Something awakened. You may not feel it all at once, but deep in your spirit, you know. Something happened between you and heaven today. You didn't just hear a message, you crossed into a moment. You stepped into the time where prophecy kisses reality. And now, the final blessing is being spoken over your life. May your ears remain open to the whispers of heaven. May your eyes recognize the answers when they appear. May your spirit remain anchored even as doors fly open before you. And may your name, the one heaven called today, never be forgotten in the realm of light. You are sealed, protected by the blood and the breath of God. You are seen, watched over by angels who have followed your path from childhood to calling. And you are sent, commissioned now into a new measure of manifestation. This next season will not look like the last. This next chapter will not repeat old pain. Heaven has shifted its posture toward you. And because heaven has shifted, so will everything else. And remember this, before midnight, the answer begins to move. The conversation you've longed to have, the door you've been waiting to open, the clarity you've begged God for, it is already in motion. And now, All of heaven waits for your continual agreement, your unwavering belief, your prophetic stillness. The release is real. The reversal has begun. The time is now. The heavens have spoken. Type "I am sealed," seen, and sent in the comments if this word has marked your life tonight. Blessing code 1212 is now closing the old and unlocking the new. This word was not just a message, it was a divine appointment. And now, as your spirit bears witness, you are invited to take part in something greater than a video. You are invited to partner with heaven's movement. Every word sent out carries fire, and every seed sown into this fire spreads the flame. If your life has been touched, stirred, or shifted by what you received, then step into divine action. Giving is not a transaction. It is prophetic agreement. When you give into this word, you multiply the mission. You extend the light. You release others from darkness. The river that fed you now flows through you. As it is written, whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. This is your moment to become a vessel for someone else's breakthrough. Support this heavenly assignment through super thanks, channel membership, or PayPal. The donation link is in the video description. Do not delay. Let your obedience speak louder than emotion. Let your generosity shake the gates of heaven. I declare now, your giving is a key, your seed is a sound, and the harvest is already in motion. Move now. The heavens are watching.